And we're live on a Sunday, fun day, fun day. Hey, let me turn that fan down. A little loud, but we need some airflow. What's up, everyone? I am the High Priestess Phoenix, spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sybil, messenger of God, the first child of God. I am the Lilith reincarnated here on a Sunday, fun day. I would say in order to keep up with me, you would have to da-da-da-da. But we are going to, it all leads into this. Last night in my video, I felt a shift in the 10-day energy, the Egyptian energy, and I checked it out, and sure enough, it happened yesterday. So I'm going to give you a 10-day forecast, and then I have my Sunday, and then I also have my light cards to pull for you, and then I have 3 books of religion. There's no way we can cram all this in one video, so we've got an outline for what today's videos will look like. Did you catch all that? We're going to start with a 10-day forecast. Then we're going to do our light codes, and then later on this evening we're going to read more intros into these religions. What are we going to look at? An intro into Jewish mysticism, and then I think we started the Quran, so maybe it was the Islamic beliefs. We're going to get into that. But right now we're talking about our 10-day forecast. Alright, so for the next 10 days, we're in a place of authority and power. I was like, oh fuck. Number 27, oh fuck. I turned straight to it, oh fuck. Alright, this is Kentu Keru, and it's part of the Kentu group. For this, the minerals would be jasper and gold. That's why I had that's what was in my stone pouch last night that I was wearing. Okay, authority and power. Authority and power are all too often viewed as external forces that work against you. However, if you recognize you have power that comes sometimes hidden deep beneath a seemingly weak exterior, then you can rise to fulfilled potential. Remember, the pharaohs of Egypt were human beings just like you. Depending on your personal circumstance, this card could call to action that is telling you to stand up for yourself. Oh, I just loaded a video earlier where I came in, and I'm kind of a child, I just want to say that, so I sit down with my daughter, and I'm like, you will not believe what just happened. I just got into a fight with this girl. She's like a physical fight? I was like, no. And I tried to explain to her where I was, and, let me tell you what just happened. And, and I'm telling her, I'm talking to her like I'm talking to you, and it's just like, this is crazy. This is crazy. Just go catch the video. I don't want to tell it again. It may also indicate a problem with an authority figure that will need to be dealt with in the near future. It could represent an oppressive situation in which you feel as though you are the one who has been grabbed by the air and is currently stuck in an unpleasant situation. That's what I told my daughter. I was like, I didn't wake up for this. And then, when it was all done, there's like a fucking whole there's like multiple paragraphs of messages explaining herself. And then at the very end is like, if you still need a ride. You're preying off my desperation, and I don't appreciate this. In the sense of, I didn't want this. I didn't ask for this. All I'm doing is what God told me to do. And in the essence, history. And that's why I don't be wanting to ask nobody for nothing, bro. It comes with so many strings, bro. So many. Kentu Keru. The second half of the Kentu Deacon group. Embodied authority and power, similar to authority found in the Emperor card in the Tarot. Damn it, I'm trying to be an Empress, not from the Emperor. Balance. And that's where it is, it is a ruler who is secure in his position, with no remaining challenges to be found. Is there anyone else? That's how I feel in my Achilles. That's what I said to her, too. She tried to take a look. She tried to be like, well, you know how it is because you're struggling. I'm not struggling. I'm struggling to get people to understand what God is doing in my life while I'm struggling to get them to understand what God is doing in their life. Otherwise, no. The rest of this is, I have my little mini battles, but I'm not struggling. I heard this saying, the struggle is real. Do you know what makes me a master? Is because I can find peace in all things. This isn't a hopeless place for me. Not having control is not a terrible thing. Trusting God and letting Him work is difficult. But I'm not, that's the struggle. Peace, bro. You think it comes with all this shit, right? So I got into it with her, and it's all about justifying your actions in the essence, it's all about money, and I can't stand this conversation to begin with. And I'm not money hungry. I'm not money driven like you. I don't know where my money's coming from. I know it's coming from God. And that's all I know, and that's never failed me. I'm capable of working, and when I need work, He literally blesses me with jobs. They'll call me and tell me they got a job for me, and I'll go. Like, it's really it's not magic, but it kind of is. I'm not driven by those things, dude, right? So it's like everybody seems to have some kind of, Joe Bart just shared this video. It's like everybody thinks they have some kind of power or authority because they got some money in their pocket. And I just said that in this last video. It's like, I was you. I believed that. And I told my daughter that. And when it was all done, I told her, remember where we lived and how we lived? We were bougie assholes, and they hated us. And we didn't care. We thought they should be better. And I reminded her of, 4th of July. Right? So my son's birthday is at the end of June. And I'm usually doing real well by then. I'm back on my shit. So we do it big for his birthday. And we do it, and then the 4th of July. And I use that as an example. I was like, how Lisa used to keep her kids in, on the 4th of July because she didn't have no, fireworks, so she wouldn't let her kids come out and be part of the fireworks. And I used to be like, that's fucked up. You should be buying fireworks. You should be letting them be part of it. I was like, that was mean of us. The way that we were, you know what I mean? We thought we were all powerful because we had stuff. And look at us. And everybody hated us. We lived with poor people that didn't have things. And we had all this stuff. And we didn't, you know what I mean? And people didn't like us. And we didn't care. I was like, I built a fence around us. We had cameras. We had new cars. We had go-karts. We had everything. We're supposed to be just as poor as them, but instead we were in their face with all this nice shit. I was completely unaware that I was causing this, dude. That I was making people jealous and envious and hateful by just having nice things. Just trying to, you know what I mean, keep up with a different class of people, not realizing what class of people I am. Now, I was like her. Well, I work hard for my money. I'm allowed to have nice things. I work harder than all of you. If you worked as hard as me, you'd have nice things too. And that's that attitude she had this morning. I'm met with just an older version of myself, you know what I mean? And I'm trying to tell you guys because this is what I was. And when I see her and I see me, and I see me now, and I stand in her face and I tell her, for this day, on God's day, I'm actually not worried, dude. I'm not chasing. And that is a battle won today, where I didn't wake up thinking about how I was going to take care of myself so I could have some pride in my life. I've been fighting this for 2 years. And I look at you in the morning, and you're fighting that. You're justifying you're who I was when I started this. On Mother's Day, I'm reminded of how far I've come. This is not an easy battle, to look at the people that you love and tell them you have no pride. You have no monetary value. You have nothing to show for your life, is what it is. You're all powerful, and I'm powerless because I don't have the things that you have. But what I have and you'll never have, that none of those things will give you, is peace. I don't have to worry. And that's what all this is about. And in order for me not to worry, I had to give up those things, bro. The things that I worried most about are the things I had to fight and let go of. And as she sits there, and a lot of you sit there with like this, I don't know what I'm going to do attitude that keeps you fucked up in your head. I sit here with a pleasant smile of, I don't know what God's going to do, but it's going to be good. Why? Because he promised me this. I didn't do this to myself. I did this because God said this is the way. And this makes me more powerful than you, not having those things. You having those things makes you powerful to other people, but not to me. And me having nothing makes me, worthless to you. But that's what you miss, is I'm all powerful. If I was to work in it, if I was to be in that masculine energy, I'd have more than you ever did. But God says, if I don't do it, I'll have more than I ever thought I could dream of. And if I let him do it. Adam and Eve left the garden because they wanted to do it by themselves. They knew better. You know better. Do it your way. I'm going back to the garden, and he's taking care of me. And he promised to take care of my kids. Yeah, we don't got all the nicest shit. She's got her phone. He's got that. We got what we need. And when we ask God, when we really go to him, and we don't go to him for shit. When we ask him, he delivers. Like right now, my son needs it, and we knew it was coming. His birthday's next month, bro. We knew it was coming. For his next birthday, we knew we were going to have to get him a new play system. Because his Xbox was going down. Supposedly that was all it. He got that, 2 years ago. It's time to move on. So God, you're going to provide his needs, right? Is he going to just fart out an Xbox or a PlayStation or a fucking whatever the kids play nowadays? No, he's going to show me how to provide that for my family. He's going to show me the way how to get the things that we need. I will have to work hard for it. But I don't have to work until that moment. And that's where you need to sit back and what do I really need? So when we come to this power and authority, you give people power and authority. I've showed you this. You get these people and you think they're so special because of the shit they have in their life. That shit doesn't make them powerful, bro. It makes them weak as fuck. They think it's cool, but it's not. They use it to floss on you, to show that they're better than you. If they're so powerful and they have so much money, how come you can't ask them for $5? How come their family, what's the whole situation there? Only them and theirs, right? They're happy little kingdoms. That's not power, bro. That's not success. That's greed. That's all I can say is, dude, all these people that you believe have power and authority over your life or in this world, it's only because your belief in them gives it to them. What is? Yeah, because they said they're going to stop the program, right? It was going to happen.
The Xbox One, it's too old.
The Xbox One is too old, so it's going to stop working. Well, he tried to plug it in yesterday and it wouldn't turn on.
Yeah.
And that's what it is God will create a, that's just it. And he did it to her, he did it to her headphones, dude. She'll sit there, she had brand new headphones I got her, and I'm like, all right, babe, if they break, you know what that means. That means you need new ones. So God will get us new ones. We'll get you new ones. He'll show me, I promise you, if there's a need. And that's what happens. And so she got actually Taz gave us some Bose headphones, and she's been using those forever. Now, if those broke, then she'd be like, I need. You know what I mean? When she needs it, and that's why I was like, don't lie to me. If your phone didn't work the first day, you would have been in my face. Talking about, I need my phone to work. She figured out what it was. It was her case was holding down her screen.
Yeah, they glued it.
But anyways, we got into a big-ass fight, but that's what I mean. It's like when you really need something, God's there. Right when you need, not exactly the moment you want it. And that's why I'd be mad at God, too. It's like, I really needed this sooner. No, you need it now. In the essence, it's like, I just want you to understand that. Your monetary value doesn't give you power unless you try to exert that power on somebody else. A powerful person is a helping hand. Right now, her power over me, her ability to help me when nobody else could was great. It didn't mean anything. She could have pulled up, and that's what it is. You know what my spirit said? The guy that asked me for cigarettes all the time, he saw me this morning, and I asked him do you need some money? I'll give you $30 if you give me a ride to the mechanic. Or if you know someone. He said, my brother will do it. I said, cool. That's it. You're not that powerful, bro. I mean, I needed help, but somebody else can help me, and now they're powerful. Their ability to, you know what I mean? And really, I'm paying them for their service. You doing it out of the kindness of your heart would have been super powerful. But you know what I mean? It's like, don't put me in a position where I got to accept your fucking attitude just because I needed a ride. I didn't. I could still take the bus. I just was looking at it, and it didn't make sense on the piece of paper. I didn't understand what it was telling me. But in the sense of, it's like, it's not like I don't have the money. I'd rather give it to a person here that needs the money. They put $5 in their fucking tank and, you know, use that money to go buy their girl something for, you know, Mother's Day or whoever knows. That's it. It's like, you don't got power, bro. A powerful person is a helping hand, bro. Someone that could be there when nobody isn't, you know what I mean? That's real powerful. Jesus really didn't have any monetary value. He had powerful words that could help your life be better. And that's all I'm trying to be. And, you know, it wasn't nice. And that's where it is the old me, bro, I would have fucking lit your bitch ass up. I'd have lit your ass up for fucking stupid shit. I'm sitting here trying my hardest. This is the battle of how do I address this better? Well, you don't even want to be a better version of yourself. You know what I mean? And that's it. It's like, you know, and the whole conversation was all about her statue, at her power and position at fucking work. Bitch, you sell weed, and you're terrible at it. You're hustling them, is what really happened, bro. And that's where she derives her power and authority from, is her money flow. And that's the same as all these fucking money-hungry hoes, the fucking rappers, the fucking all these celebrities. They weren't shit till they got some shit, and now you think there's something special. Hey, look, Ma, we made it. You made it where? To the same store as everybody else, as the people that you were so looked upon? They still don't want you at their table. They're still not talking to you. You could dress yourself, and that's just it. You're still not good enough for them. Lewis is worth more and has everything that anyone could wish for. I think it's a joke. It's almost a joke, bro, how much value there is in that man. Like, not his millions and billions, but he does. He owns villas. He owns yachts. He owns his own plane. He owns billions of the nicest cars, not even a weak car. I want to put him in a smart car just to see how stupid he looks. Be the best thing I could. That's such an oxymoron, bro. I want to see you drive an electric smart car. Huh? On autopilot? Ha! Ha! This is great. I love it. Such a simulation. In the sense of, designers call him. He wears every design before it's designed. Like, he's there, like they're literally looking at him as, you know what I mean? The mannequin of, like, we want to make clothes for people like you. You know what I mean? He's absolute royalty. He was knighted in his own country as a knight. Then Brazil came and made him, gave him some kind of power and authority over Brazil. He owns a portion of my Denver Broncos. You know what I mean? This motherfucker right here, this guy right here. Okay, but then you look at him and you're like, Lewis, are you doing a fucking cameo? All the power and money and success, and you're over here stunting like your daddy? I cannot. Lewis Hamilton, they have fucking luggage named after you. There's people with your face tattooed on their fucking body. You're killing me, Smalls. And the answer is, he has all the money in the world, but he's still out there begging for attention and friendship. He has nothing else that none of you have. It's so sad. He's my neighbor. He's got a house up in the hills. He's like, fucking Lewis, get on my damn nerves, Lewis. He's the most powerful celebrity I have. You think it's Kanye, but he ain't got shit too. I mean, monetary, you say he has billions, but he doesn't have all of... You have to take the whole financial portfolio together. When Lewis dies, this is a bigger scene here. This is a big crime scene. Same like, Marshall's got all that, but he doesn't have it all spread out in all of these little thingies. He does a lot of it in his label. You know what I mean? If they were to divide all that, but they're not also, you know what I mean? He's not part of open market, industries. So that is not, other people's hands in his pocket. Oh, that dude though, I saw that. That was silly. He got convicted of stealing all your shit and selling your shit and shit. Damn, bro. Damn, Nika. Anyways, I just want to show you that, like, that doesn't make people powerful. And I even showed you that Trump, he's a wiener. You're protecting him because he's so powerless. He's a super wiener. He has all that money, and he's powerless to the people. He is very dangerous with that little pen and paper of his. Same as you rappers, right? I love when he takes all these things that he signed, and he goes like this, and he shows everybody his real awesome signature. It's like, yeah, you're so powerful. You're such a powerful leader. I'm going to tear that piece of paper up as soon as you're out of here, bro. We're setting this whole thing on fire. That whole book you wrote right there, we're going to burn all that shit down. I mean, going back to fucking Korea, bro. These motherfuckers. They're dictator and shit. If the people should so rise against such authority, they gave him the authority. Down to your emperor, bro. Your emperor is chosen because of, by bloodlines. But if you get a bad bloodline, this guy's got bad blood, he doesn't get along with his cousins or something, then the whole kingdom is going to fall. There's many, 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 many stories of that shit. And nobody said we could have that we could get an outsider's opinion. That's just the way it is. No, dude, this traditionally sucks. Didn't you tell me? Where'd she go? She knows everything. She knows too much. She Googles a lot. I don't know where she gets all this information. The internet. It's feeding her information all day. She said something about somebody's political position allows them to be there for some crazy amount of years. I was like, yeah, dude, they got a job for life. Even if they start being bad at their job, they still get to keep it. Like, it doesn't even matter, dude. It's like some of these positions are for life. And that's what I was talking about. Trump has came in and he's reversed a lot of those generational wealth positions that people had. He's taken away a lot of generational wealth. He stopped the flow. And because of their spending habits, they're going to lose control. They can't rebuild their status. In essence, God used him to do great works, but it's like, which is what make everyone unemployed. His job was to make you jobless. Wow, funny. Who voted for this guy? That's where it gets real funny. It was you. You did this. Just kidding. God forgive you. It really wasn't. He planned this last year before the votes. Dude, go back. We knew he was going to win. Everybody just didn't want to admit it. I told you. It was already prophesized so long ago. I told you not to fight the funk. Don't fight the feeling. Alright. Anyways, let's just go back to this bullshit ass. You think you're powerful because you got some money in your pocket. Well, I'm telling you that the government's coming to take that. That's not scary at all, right? Alright, anyways, let's go on. Where did this say? Might indicate that you're in an unpleasant situation. Look at me, guys. If my caseworker, I meet with her every fucking Wednesday. If she says, you know what, bitch, we lost funding, or you didn't get a job fast enough, or, something happened, we heard your daughter was acting up, or whatever the fuck happens, dude. She comes at me on some Wednesday shit and says, bitch, you gotta pack up and leave. They did that to me in Arizona, remember? What did God say? I got you. When fucking my friend kicked me out of fucking her house, what am I going to do, God? She's going to make me leave. I got you. When Mr. Plum said, well, you could just pack up and leave. What am I going to do, God? I got you. God gots me, bro. I don't got to sit here and fucking chase this fucking, this sense of security that, if I don't do this, then I'm fucked and me and my children are going to go hungry and we're going to be stuck in our car and blah, blah, blah. Bro, it's the summer, bitch. We're getting a new tent. We're hitting the road. I'm fixing the car right now. Fuck it. Fuck you. You know how much fun and excitement and life and love we get out there on that road instead of sitting in your fucking apartment complexes and shopping centers and fucking all this bullshit? The point of the story is, I know where the true power comes from. Nobody has power and dominion over me. God put me here, and if he's, he brought me here, he's gonna bring me right out of this shit. And whatever he brings me through, he takes care of me while we go through it. All I gotta do is trust him and believe him. And he's done this. This is the third motherfucking year. He told me on the top of a mountain to go to Arizona. I had nowhere and nothing. My idea was I was going to go camping in Arizona because it was getting too cold in Colorado. I was looking up campgrounds all over the place. I looked near the Colorado River. I looked near Famanach Lake, stuff that I recognized. When I got there, when I'm just cruising in, 10 minutes, 15 minutes before I get to this town called Yuma, he tells me to call the community center. I call them, and I tell them my situation, and they say to come in right away. We have housing for you. I didn't know he was driving me straight to a fucking shelter, but at the time, it was exactly what I needed. And when they kicked me out, he told me to go to Las Vegas, and at the time, that was exactly what I needed. Those are the best memories, was fucking camped out on Lake Mead. It was the best memory, and it was the strongest thing I ever did, just going into the unknown like that. Always going into the unknown like that. I thought I was going to San Diego. Nope. What am I going to do now? We're going to just trust God. God never fails me, bro. You can fail yourself. You fail everyone. People fail you. God doesn't fail. I just want you to understand that, bro. No matter what happens, I have peace. Because I understand I'm not in control. I only have so much control. I can only do so much. And the things that I do, if they're not what God wants me to do, they're not going to work out. He's got a plan. I just don't know what it is. And me trying to create my own life is not the plan. It never was. I'm powerless. Yes. But because of that, I'm all powerful. My faith and belief in him and his delivery and those promises makes me all powerful, bro. You think I'm like, I do this. He does this. What I do is fight the world's understanding and my own understanding to believe in these fucking promises that Jesus said. He told me I could trust him and I could believe in him. And every time he shows me, every time it's harder to believe in him, but every time he shows me that it's okay. And that's where I can even make my mind believe it, because it's seen it. I don't know who hasn't seen this, dude. I was about to do it all on my own. He gave me all this money. I'm about to fix my car. I'm about to buy a trailer. I have a job and a house and a plan of my own. And they call me and say, you don't have to do that. We have a house for you. When I get here, they said, it's going to take you time to get a job. Don't rush. It's okay. I had a plan. God gave me a different plan. He put me here. He said that plan was no good, and he showed me why, and I explained all that. I made a plan of my own because I didn't know what he was doing. And it's a great plan, and I can always do that if I want. That's plan B. That's plan me. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go camp out in the campground. But I needed to know that I needed to have a house and a job to do it. Not in the summer, I don't. Somehow, if I don't have a job and a house, then I'm worthless to everybody. But I do my job every day, and I always have a place to lay. So why am I not good enough? Why am I powerless? You know what I mean? And you're so powerful. When you're stressing to keeping that job and that roof over your head every day. Nobody's ever took care of me, and God's showing me that he can. And it's a long process of letting him, but he hasn't failed me yet. And every time I think that I need to get up and that was all last week. I'm trying to take care of myself, just like you, and that's what he doesn't want. He wants to take care of me. Don't I deserve it? Is somebody else doing it for me? Can't he do it? He really does. You gotta let him. Or you can take care of everything and feel like you're all powerful. You can hold the whole world on your hands and you can be all powerful. You can hold the purse, is what that said. Whoever holds the purse wears the pants, is the saying. Whoever makes the most money has all the power in the house. They make all the decisions. Interesting. Just putting that out there. All right, the second half of the Kentu Keru Deacon group embodies authority and power, similar to the Emperor card. Yeah. Picture on this card is Pharaoh's Ramesses II. Ramses, he's no dancing at the party. In smiting pose, holding his many enemies by their hair in collective group while raising his hand to strike them into submission. Pharaohs were often depicted in this pose, which originated on the. Hold on, I'm seeing Moses. The Namur palette, a stone slab created in 3100 BCE that shows Namur, the first king of Egypt, smiting an enemy. I will smite thee. Remember, I used to say that all the time in the first year? I love that saying. I haven't said that forever. Man, that used to be so fun to me. What did I say? I'd get mad at people. I was like, smite them, God! Smite them! Smite them! It was fun. It made me calm down. Every time I'd ask God to kill somebody for me, I realized this is dumb. But it was funny. I used to say it all the time. Do you remember, guys? It was fun. I used to say it all the time. Smite them. I haven't said it in like over a year or something. I forgot. I used to say it all the time. And I'm like, die, motherfucker, die, motherfucker. I mean, it was fun. I used to say it all the time. I used to tell God to smite people all the time. I didn't come in here liking you. I'm working on it. I'm working on a lot of stuff here. I got a lot of work to do. Anyways, it's funny to me. The smiting pose is symbolic to the primordial gods who rebelled against Re. The sun god grabbed them by the hair, chopped them into pieces, and threw them into the sky, where they became the deacons. This is why the deacons are described as being dishevelled or toused in the coffin text. Spell 513. That's in a couple of days, and that's my year anniversary on YouTube. For the coffin text reads, my disillusion was caused yesterday. I've returned today. I am one who is toused, who went up into his horizons. I am one who is dishevelled, who went up into his scepter. A direct reference to Re and the role of defending the deacons is found in spell 273, calling him he who seized by the hair. That's it. I will fucking. That's what I told you. I was like, I'm gonna fucking scalp Russ. I'm gonna scalp him. Like what? I'm gonna grab him by his hair. I'm gonna cut his hair. If I can't really shave his head, I'm gonna cut his hair. This always makes me think about. Oh, it's a terrible memory. That's when I stopped fighting. I had this girl. I grabbed her straight like that, bro. I grabbed her by her hair, and I was uppercutting the shit out of her in a bathroom. I was beating the shit out of her. After that, I said I would stop putting hands on people, and I never did. I never fought back after that. I have this memory. Beat the shit out of that girl, dude. I had her by her hair. I was uppercutting her. I mean, beating the shit out of her. What was it over? A bad dope deal. Truthfully. It was some stupid shit. I got out of control. Anyways, yeah. I will scalp you. In ritual work, Kentu Keru can be used to deal with stomach issues and sickness in general. Both the Naos of Deacons and Cairo calendar mark the Deacons Week as a time for stomach problems. Melia said that. She said she couldn't keep anything down. Melia, listen. This marks a Deacons Week for stomach problems and vomiting. Is your stomach hurting? That's what she said. Everything I eat won't go down. I feel like I'm going to throw up. Oh, well, it's in the energy for the next week. You're not pregnant. It's an Egyptian god in your belly. Yeah, okay. So you and your power and authority. You have no authority. You have no power. Oh, man. It's funny. And it does go back to Russ and his love language is Apple Pay. He loves to give that cash away. I can't stand you, Russell. Go away. I don't want to see you on any day. Good Lord. Oh, there's Lord Shiva. I saw this vision, Marshall. I saw a vision where you walked up and I was like, Lord Shiva arrives. That's how I addressed you. I didn't even call you Marshall. I called you by Shiva when I saw you. I saw you in the future. You're going to approach me, huh? Well, I guess one day in this life, yeah. Get your shit together, motherfucker. You're only getting older. All right, where are we at? Ooh, I like it. That's very lovely. Oh, it's the god of love. I love it. That's very lovely. Very bright. And that's that flower moon. I'm dressed in my flowers and I'm mooning. Where are we at? Freedom from desire. That's it. I don't desire the things of this flesh. Success and love and romance. I know, right? I was supposed to. It's the only thing I'm not doing on the. You're supposed to have sex under this moon. It's the full moon in Scorpio. It's about sex. I'm not having sex this moon. Damn it. In the essence of I fell short. An enhanced sexual performance. See, I can't even enhance my performance because I haven't even started performing. Damn it. Ability to amuse and make people laugh. Yeah, that's me. I'm really great in those departments. Let's talk about my non-existent sex life. My 42-year-old virgin self. How does that work? I don't have the memories. I mean, I got kids, but nothing else. That's what I got out of having sex was kids. Seriously? And bad memories. Yeah, bro. Isn't that some shit? I don't even know. I went to a sex store and saw the sizes and the shapes and colors of them. Tried to imagine it. It got a little scary. I don't have any memories. They got washed away. So that's what that virgin thing means. I mean, and I've been celibate for like, ever. How long? I mean, there was this one time. Like 2 years ago. And it didn't last long, and it ended up being the whole problem that started all of this. And then there was like 5 years before that. It's not really, I know, it's terrible. They took away Lilith's sexual powers. I'm reclaiming it. I'm working on it. I gotta go work through Lilith to have sex, because, you know, she didn't have good sexual powers. She had unhealthy sexual behaviors, clearly. And that's where you hear all those great fucking videos. I mean, it's a programming, dude. And that's like, it's going to just turn on. I mean, it's going to turn you on, but I'd like to be part of this whole situation that I'm programmed to do. I want to enjoy this program. I'm hilarious. See, I told you, I'm funny. Anyways, what's going on with Odin? I watched that yesterday. That was that's one of my favorite movies, dude. Fucking Thor Ragnarok. Thor, stay. No, he's so friend. You're being a bad friend. We're talking about Hulk and Thor, their relationship. I love them. Strongest Avenger. What? Where are we at? No. Again? Come on. Is there something better? How about this one? I don't know this one. I like that one better. Why? Because I'm choosy. I choose to look for something better. This might be worse. I don't know. I've never seen this one. My tummy hurts. I'm ready for lunch. Oh, man. This is not the day to go out and eat. All the mothers are out there. I have to be a mother. Motherfucker. Oh, God. I'm being more of a father. I want to be celebrated on Father's Day more than Mother's Day. And that's what I told my kid. I was like, do you have clothes for tomorrow? I really don't want to do laundry on Mother's Day, but that's what it makes a mother. So please don't make me a mother on Mother's Day. Oh, gosh. Seriously. I hate doing laundry. I fucking hate that shit. What are we looking for? Ing. Okay, it's not in there. Let's start over. Oh, you're a creepy looking lady. Odin son. Alright. New beginnings, relationships, fertility. Hey, that aligns with that last card. Hey, are you bringing in a new man? Or no? It's never ever a new man. I always be swearing, dude. If there's ever illusion, I tell myself. And I tell you it's just a lie. There's no, really. They're not bringing anyone new. They expect you to step up your game. I'm like, they're just playing games, bro. Fertility and harvest were critical parts of life for early civilization. Giving birth was dangerous. Yeah, this is dangerous. Surviving the elements difficult. And having enough to eat and drink crucial. Oh, you asshole. That's what he said to me. He's so such a logical asshole. Bobby was like, I don't know. Again, he's being logical. He's like, asking me, like, what did I want? I was like, I just wanted to marry you and have babies, like God told me. He's like, you want to have a newborn in your current situation? It's like, you're being a dickhead, but no. And he pushed all this fucking shame and fear on me as like, yeah, you're homeless and you live in your car and you're trying to get pregnant. He made it seem all foul. But now going back to it, it's like, it doesn't matter. God's taken care, you know what I mean? I've taken care of all these kids, and that was my biggest fear. Some bullshit ass shit like you just said. So I'm gonna have to raise kids on my own. I didn't. God helps me raise these kids. They're his kids too. You know what I mean? In the sense of, fuck you. Nobody wants to get pregnant in their current situation. And that doesn't mean they're not gonna be a good parent because they don't have all this, you know what I mean? Like, it's just bullshit. Like, I'm not worthy to want such things because of my current situation, is what it was projected. He was just being a logical asshole, but it was an asshole move to say. It's like, you want to have a baby and you think you're going to get married and have a baby. Bro, if you didn't cut your dick off and I fucked you right now, then it could easily have a baby. And you have nothing to do with it. Stupid. Stupid. In the sense of, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, perhaps there's those people that, really want to plan for this. You don't plan to become a parent. You become a parent by experience. And some of us aren't that great. You know what I mean? And that's where it is like, I shared that video with my daughter because she didn't even have a third of what the parent that these kids have. I wasn't even none of this. They had a really shitty mother. You know what I mean? A really shitty mother because she didn't know how to be a mother. I'm learning. I'm trying to be a better mother. In the essence of like, I don't got this perfectly right, but I'm working on being a better than my mother and other mothers and trying to be a good mother. It's like, and that's all it is. And most of all, what? I'm a better father than I am a mother. I showed that I was a better provider and shit. And I was better at providing and protecting, you know what I mean? And being that. Not so much nurturing and loving because I was too busy working and struggling to provide a good life for them. So going back to it, I just like this giving birth is dangerous. It brought that up. It's like, yeah, I'm afraid, but God's got us and we'll figure this out. And that's every person. And that's where it comes to that conversation about an abortion. Do you know why an abortion happens? And I've had 2. And that's why I have to have 2 more children before I leave this. You know what I mean? It's because you don't believe that you have what it takes. You don't have no faith in yourself, this person, or God. And those are some of the, those are some of the hardest decisions to make. And then some of them don't, by the time they realize it's too late of a decision to make, some of them don't want to do that to the, for all different reasons. So then there's adoption. My mom's last kid she had, my brother, she gave up for adoption. She was in a terrible place, bro. He was just somebody, she had 3 kids that she was trying to, just like myself, she was trying to take care of. And she had a little boy toy and she got pregnant. And he didn't want to be her, He didn't want to take care of the kids she currently had. He didn't want a kid. She had too many to take care of. So she decided to put him up for adoption. Give him a chance to live with a better family. And he got a great fucking family, dude. He cashed out. He's got a great life. He's got everything. Unfortunately, he still has our genes. So he still has a lot of, generational curses that he's not fully aware of. And he looks like us, and he talks like us, and he's still like us. But she gave him up, right? And when she did that sent her into a whole nother type of shame and regret, which started up her drug use even more than it ever was. It sent her back into the worst place of her life when she had given up her first 2 children. Right? And then she, and the result was, the life that me and my 2 brothers had. She tried to do the right thing, but the right thing killed her. And it killed her so bad that she ruined our lives too. By saving him, it ruined all of our lives. Right? That shame. I remember, I have the memories, bro. She went into a depression and never came out of her room for like a week. And that's when my brother started touching me. That's how I remember it. Where was my mom? I remember she wouldn't come out of the room. She wouldn't come out of that room. Right? After she gave birth to my littlest brother, I have these memories. She wouldn't come out of that room, bro, for like ever. And then the memories, you know, they're spread out. And then the next memory is, and I thought about this last night, that townhome. My aunt owned that townhome. So in essence, what happened? If my aunt didn't give her a home, would she have not had a home? And then I started thinking about it even more. Was my aunt charging her rent? Was she really paying my aunt rent? Was she getting away with, you know what I mean? How was this working? And that explained why Shauna could come over and live in our house for fucking weeks and months at a time. Because it was her mother's house. And that was her daughter. And that's why it was. You know what I mean? So when we moved out of that house, Shauna got the house. But when Aunt Jeannie died, you know what I mean, then everybody was homeless. So I go back to this. It's like, was my mom really... And then my memory before that, she lived with, you know, Aunt Jeannie and Aunt Pat. Okay? I look at these memories, right? So then in her dying days, she lived with Aunt Pat. Did she ever learn to actually, you know what I mean? Did we ever have our own home? Because when we got to San Diego, she kept an apartment for a small period of time, but we lost it. Then she had a roommate. But then she lost the roommate. And that's when she ended up living in a freaking, you know what I mean, in a fucking hotel forever. I don't think she ever learned how to keep a home. Looking at these memories, bro, like how they're spread out and shit like that. But in the essence, it's like, she knew she didn't have what it takes. So she kept trying to do the right thing. And it just didn't work. You know what I mean? She was 16, and she fell in love with a musician in San Francisco, but she was, you know, she was a party girl. She was already street bound. She was in and out of it. She was just, you know, a hippie girl. She got pregnant, but she was still doing drugs, bro. And after like 2 years, dude, she couldn't be a mom. She was 18, and they wanted her to be a mom, and she ran away from it. I don't know what happened with my brother, but there's no father there either. She got pregnant and she had Joe. She left Joe with Aunt Pat. There's stories about it, how she went on a binger and Aunt Pat had to raise Joey. And that's how he got so close with my cousins. That she raised him for like 2 years, and then all of a sudden my mom came out of nowhere and took him away. Right? Now, you know, the whole point of this is sex equals babies, bro. And you don't know if you're going to be good at it or not. And you got to be careful of that, because, you know, this is what it is it's not just your life and another person and we're having a good time. This is, you know, an experience that can last forever. I just want to put that all out there. Not to put fear in your hearts, but put awareness in what we're doing. So then this is what happens. So we're taught to use, you know, protection, right? Protect ourselves from what? A future is what we're doing. Growing up. Commitment. We think struggle, but it's a commitment. What we're really here to do. We want our cake, but we don't want to eat it too. You know what I mean? We want to eat the cake, but we don't want to get fat. And yes, since you want to have all the sex in the world, but you don't want the responsibility that comes with sex. So you look for protection and shit like that. So then these women do shit like, you know, and then they get to, you know, Khloe Kardashian, or not Khloe, what was the other one? Kourtney Kardashian, where I really want to give birth, but now I've poisoned my womb and I can't get it to work. Because I didn't, you know, I didn't want it to work, and now when I want it to work, it won't work. And that's why I can't stand it. There's commercials all over about ED, erectile dysfunction, and all these pills and shit. It's like you wanted to work, you overworked it. And now when you really wanted to work, you can't work it. You overworked this. Being a good mother isn't what I have to provide. And that's the same for being a good father. Truthfully. If my kids would have, you know, if their deadbeat dad would have even given them money, they would have considered him a good father, because that's something that my other kids' deadbeat dad didn't do. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean it. Me not being able to provide doesn't mean I'm not a good mother. Me not loving them and spending time with them and not nurturing them, that's what makes you a shitty parent. It doesn't matter if you're a father or mother. If you don't have time for your children, and you don't love them, and you don't, you know what I mean? If you don't, that's what it's about, not what you give them. It's not the things you give them, it's the time you give them. That's what makes a good parent. Understand that. Because when we were young and we were growing up poor, we didn't know that we weren't, that our parents were bad and that we didn't have stuff and that we didn't know anything was wrong in our house until the outside world told us that our parents were ghetto and that we were poor. We didn't know that growing up until somebody told us they weren't good enough. And that's what you do with your power and control, is try to say you're better because you have all these things. Hey, the natives, where we all started before you had all of this, I saw it yesterday. Brand new baby, bro. I felt so bad for her. The elevators are still out. She just had a baby. She had the baby. They had all of their paperwork. It was wrapped up in the blanket. She still had the tag on her wrist, you know what I mean, from the hospital. And they were about to go up the stairs. You gonna tell me that she's not a good mother because she lives in a homeless shelter? That baby's not gonna have a good future? That God's not gonna, you know what I mean, try to provide for that family so they could provide a good life for that child? I share videos about, you know what I mean, women in Asia that are kicked out for getting pregnant. And they still have a child, so they have to go out into the woods and build a little fort and go try to find money and food for this child. They've stopped becoming a woman now. They have to become a man. They have a child. All of us came from some really strong women. But they had nothing. I don't give a fuck what you say. Marshall wouldn't be Marshall without his strong mother. And yeah, she, you know what I mean? That's what it is. None of them. No matter how you look at it, bro, they did their best. And you say their best isn't good enough. Who says what is a good parent? I'm seeing that movie and I never watched it. With Will Smith on The Pursuit of Happiness, where, he's homeless with his son. I never watched that movie, but in that movie it depicts that he is a good father. It shows that he is a good, caring, loving, sacrificing father and will do anything for his children. But right now he can't. But he's trying. Confirmation. You know what I mean? I thought I was a good parent because my kids had everything that they wanted. But as you heard the other day, I wasn't a good parent for giving them that. But, you look at my other children and they think that that was a better parent because they didn't even have that. I didn't even have that to give to them. And that's where my daughter, my oldest daughter, she's like 24 now. She's very mature, 23. She'll be 24 this year. She can look back and see all of this and see you have come a long way, Mom. I know you don't know what you're doing, but I see that you're trying. You're trying to be better for them, and I'm not jealous. I was, but I'm not anymore. I understand, and that's a good thing. You know what I mean? I'm not. And with that being said, is like I'm gonna be a better parent by the next ones. They're giving me the experience to be better. I wish I could have been better. I look at her and all of my kids. I'm sorry I didn't know better. I'm sorry I didn't do better. I'm sorry I didn't have more. But it doesn't mean I didn't try my best. I never gave up. And that's all I can do. And it's got to be good enough. And it wasn't for my oldest kids for a long time. And it's not for a lot of people. You can do more. What do you want me to do? Will you love me then? Will it be enough then? And that's it, I'm seeing the butler. Our parents made hella sacrifices, but they didn't have anything either. Not for us to turn around and get all kinds of shit and be like we're better than people. And that's what happens to a lot of you. You go hood rich. You leave the hood to rich and forget everything in between. God says I'm ready for another child. He says I'm ready for a husband. He says that he's going to take care of us and he's going to show us a way and we will be abundant. So abundant that we'll be able to share with everybody else and make everybody else's lives abundant. That's the dream and promise I live off of. He didn't say I had to get a job and take care of everyone. He said, do this job, and I'm going to make you so abundant that you're going to take care of everyone. Okay. And that goes back to Moses. Moses was all powerful. And he turned him into what? A slave. And made him all powerful. But in essence, Moses didn't have anything to give those people. He was just as broke as Jesus. As everyone, I can't give you anything but my faith, but it works. He did. Moses was the fucking prince of Egypt, dude. In line to be the Pharaoh. Well, he was never going to be the Pharaoh because of his blood. But it's second to the Pharaoh, which is exactly that. Royalty. God took him from his took him from his kingdom and made him a god. And they still practice it. It's one of these books. They still practice the old ways. That's where one of these religions goes back to. Muslims, I think. Moses and the Muslims? Or, excuse me if I got that fucked up. One of these religions still practices under that God. They didn't accept Jesus as their new God. But again, he led them with nothing. With nothing but God's voice. He was responsible for all of them. And not because they didn't follow him because he was Trump and he had all this money and he knew he could feed you and he could give you all this stuff. He could show you the way. And that's it. It's all intertwined. I'm going to end on this note. Here we go. Let's keep going. Giving birth was dangerous. Surviving the elements difficult. And having enough to eat and drink crucial. And that's where men panic. I can barely take care of myself. I can't take care of you. I can't take care of a child. And they run. My ex-husband is no better at taking care of himself. He still can't take care of us or my children. He didn't learn it. You know why? Because his mom doesn't know how. She's still looking for someone to take care of her. That's what he was taught. These things kept early tribes busy. And that's it too. It's like that moment. I'm pregnant. All fear in both of us. What are we going to do? Think about Abraham and Sarah, bro. Impossible. They're old. We'll die before they live. We'll die before we get to see our children grow. Scared. Every teenage kid that, you know what I mean? Every teenage girl. And they get younger now. Girls are having kids at like 13. What am I going to do? How am I going to take care of them? I'm going to do my best. I'm going to be the best mom I can be. I became a mom at 16. Hey, where are you at, Chica? She was married at 16. Expected to be a whole wife. That was the tradition. My daughter's turning 15. In another culture, she'd be getting ready to... This would be her destiny. We're looking for her husband, and she's going to have children. She's going to leave our home and create a home with this man. We're going to sell her out. It's time for you to go. It's time for you to leave our home now. You must become a woman to another man. We're going to find you a good man, and he's going to treat you well. And if he doesn't, it doesn't matter. You're stuck with him for the rest of your life. He is now your provider. He's going to give us a cow for you. We're going to get a good cow off of this one. A goat, some sheep, some land. And you're going to be his good wife, and you're going to have his children. She broke it, bro. She got divorced. She broke the patriarchy, and it was all bad. You don't get divorced. She was also chunky. You're not supposed to be thick. Look at us now. They're literally pushing fake shit into their breasts and into their legs to have our thighs. Isn't that crazy? With a cigarette in your mouth. She smoked too. She did all of that. All that shit that you weren't supposed to do as a woman. A woman, it doesn't do that. No, you tried to make a woman out of her. You made her a goddess is what you did. You're not ready. God says when you're ready, guys. And you're going to be great at it. Why? Because it's inside of you. Marshall's going to be a great husband again one day. He's going to be a great father again one day. It's in him. He deprived himself the ability to show his true strength because he was too afraid to do it again. Do it again, and do it better. Learn from your mistakes and enjoy this life. Find your wife, have your children, have the life that you denied yourself. God didn't deny it, you did because of your fear. Women all over the world love you. Let them love you. See how it feels to be loved. Don't make babies till you're ready. It aligns with the moon, intuition, and personal relationships. The focus of this rune is on the egg from which comes new beginnings. It indicates a new relationship, pregnancy, or fresh start in a career, home, or friendship. The gestation of the embryo that holds life is a time of both joy and danger. And that's where I am. God's going to do something, and I'm scared. But it's going to be good. Even if I do nothing, something will happen, guys. And that's what I want to show you. In the nothing, everything happens. Most of you are a victim to your situation as it is. You're powerless to your situation. I give my power to God. We must fertilize the ground from which we create our lives. Ing speaks of new partnerships. However, with no Merkstavi or no reverse position, it can mean that a collaboration is ready to end. I told you I had to say goodbye to her. Be prepared for new beginnings by freeing yourself from a long-standing pattern or rut. Knowing yourself at the deepest level puts you in touch with your authenticity. And that's it too. Like, she's going to try to justify her behavior. She did in all those messages. I can hear you out, but I'm not listening. Because I heard what I needed to hear is that you don't want to change. Nobody wants to. I really want to. People don't want change. And those are the people, I'm just beating my head against a wall like that. I was excited about her because she was changing. She wanted change, and she was showing me she was changing. But then she comes back and says, I don't want to change. Okay then, this is the end. The only constant is constant change, guys. And for those of you that see no changes, here comes Pac. It's because you're not changing. The world around you is changing. You're getting left behind. You're not keeping up. You might be keeping up with the Kardashians, watching every episode and buying everything and dressing up and, trying to be like your favorite YouTuber or your favorite hip-hop star or your favorite, athlete. You might be keeping up with them, but you're not. You're just stalking and watching and observing and imitating and pretending to be someone else while your own life is not actually existing. I don't want to be you. I don't want to be any of you. I'm trying to be something that nobody's ever seen before. But in essence, it's not true. I'm just becoming an ascending master like they always were. You've just never seen this before. The people like me didn't know that they existed. Showing you a different existence of life. And hopefully to inspire you to exist in the same ways. That's it. That's all. This was a good teaching. For the next 10 days, you'll be reflecting on, matters of love, obviously with that Scorpio energy. And as we talked about sex, now you have the awareness of don't give your body to someone you don't want to give your future to. It's that simplistic. The things that I did with Bobby is because I wanted to, I didn't do that because I wanted to feel, it was all about my body. I loved him enough to give him my body. And I wanted what came with it, was the whole thing. I'm willing to give this part for the whole part. And that's not why you guys are sleeping with people. Today's Mother's Day, right? what makes a mother? I want to dumb this down for all of you, you know, proud mothers out there. Sex. My daughter tells me to my face. She really tells me, I'm the one that made you a mother. Are we celebrating me or my children? Because in essence, without them, I'm not a mother. Am I a good mother? That's based on their perception, not yours. You can think I'm a good mother, but if she doesn't think I'm a good mother, then I'm not. All that made me a mother was sex. How I choose to act with these children determines whether I'm a good mother or not. Just know that. The only thing that keeps you from being a father or a mother is that. And you can only control it, and that's what I said to Bobby. I was like, he told me he told me he had a vasectomy, so he couldn't fulfill that purpose. And I looked at him still terrified. That's not going to stop God. You tried to stop God. If God wants me to have your children, he's going to push that shit straight out of you. And you're going to tell me it was a lie, and I'm going to tell you I knew he'd do it, and that's why I'm not sleeping with you. He wants me to have children. His children. He wants me to have a better experience. Right? So that's another thing of, you know, sex equals baby. Am I going to have protected sex the first time I have sex? What am I protecting myself from? My future? Why am I sleeping with someone that I don't want to have forever? That I don't want to be the father of my children and my husband? No. Am I going to get pregnant the first time? I might. I'm a fertile myrtle. But that just means you don't have to worry about it for the next 9 months. Now it's already done. You don't have to worry about every time we do it. There's going to be a baby. Just know we're making babies. Have fun. We're making babies. One of these is going to be a baby. Know that. That's what God brought us together for. To make a family. He wants us to be a happy family. You've got, you know what I mean? You've got the power to do so. And that's scary. It's terrifying. I just wanted to fuck you. I didn't want to be your husband. I didn't want to be your future. I just wanted to have fun with you. I'm not here for fun. If you want to have fun with me, then let's have fun forever. Otherwise, go away. Think about that. Just think about it. My pull-out game is strong. Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah. That's what you do. You just deprive yourself the best part of it because you don't want what comes next. Babies, bro. Happy Mother's Day and all that. And that's just it. And that's what it is. It's like, am I a bad mother or am I a good mother? Depends on who you're asking, I suppose. And that's, you know, when I had to face Mary Jane, it's like, she's like, you were a terrible mother. And it's like, that's your truth. But my truth is I did my best, so I thought I was as good as I could be. You know, you could have been better. I see that now. Yeah, you're right. I didn't see that at 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I didn't see what I was doing. Now I'm, you know, in my 30s, 40s. I see things differently. A whole lot differently. I'm not looking through the same eyes. And that's just it. You know what I mean? I'll be better for the next ones. I'll have at least, you know, enough experience, hopefully. And being better doesn't mean I'll have more things. This baby's going to have the better crib. Hey, going back to it, every one of my 4 kids since, you know, decades now, there's nothing better about carrying a car seat. Nobody has designed this motherfucker better. It still looks like shit, and that's what I felt bad for her. Like, she was holding the baby, and they had to carry the car seat and all the shit that babies come home with. In essence, that's terrible for her, bro. That's terrible. That could cause hemorrhaging and all kinds of shit, walking up so many flights of stairs after just having a baby. You know what I mean? And then you shove these bitches in the gym. You want to get their stomachs flat, not realizing that, you know what I mean, what just came out of it. You want them back to normal. You want them back at work in 3 weeks. You want them back to, you know what I mean? You know, back being a man. back-breaking work. Not the fact that now they're a woman and they've got to take care of this child, and this child literally needs to latch to their chest for the next 9 months. Nope. Pull it off the chest, give it a bottle, put it on a fucking babysitter. Let someone else take care of your child. You must go back to the work field. Hey, bro. This isn't making me a good mother. I have no relationship with my children doing this. And that's what happened. I didn't have a relationship with my children because I was working too hard. I didn't have a babysitter, so I had to put up cameras. So they didn't, you know what I mean? So they learned to be isolated. To stay in, not out, not talk to nobody, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. We grew up like that in the 80s too. It's like you just didn't answer the phone and shit like that. But I didn't have anyone. I had to do this all by myself for years and years and years and years. If I have to do it again, which God says I won't, I'll do it better. But I wasn't going to lay with you without having a future with you. Know that. Know that. And you shouldn't be laying with anyone that you don't want a future with. You don't want next month to come, Father's Day to come, and you're fucking looking stupid. My ex-husband looks stupid every fucking Father's Day, every fucking Christmas, every time their birthdays come up. Why? Because he don't try. It's a choice every day. Every day, if they popped in his head, he could try, which he could send some money. That's all he can do. It's the only thing legally he can do. He could show some love, but he doesn't try because he needs that money more than they do. And I assure you, he watches me every day. He likes that power, but he's powerless, bro. You know what I mean? I'll be celebrating Father's Day while you'll be hiding because I was the father you weren't. I was the one providing and protecting for them. Always. In the woods, in the streets, everywhere we go. I know that. Pull out my fucking sword while you're over there being a bitch. Selling pictures of yourself on the internet. Sorry. A little angering. That's it. Marshall didn't try. He was too busy being a rapper. He didn't try to be a husband. He didn't try to be a father. He was trying to provide for his family. And in doing so, he lost his family. He lost the ability to be a family guy by just trying to, you know what I mean, provide for his family. And that's where it is too, you know, I'm seeing Click, the movie Click with Adam Sandler. It's like these men are trying so hard to provide a good life for you. But that's not what makes them good fathers, and I've pointed all of my guys out for that. Yeah, we'll see pictures of you all next month, right? You and what a great father you are. How come we didn't see you with your children all this year, last year, year before that? One day out of the year, we get to see that you're a father. They think that just because they provide, you know what I mean? And that's what we told them. Makes them, you know, what it takes. I see in Colin Farrell. It's like him spending all that time. Dude, yeah, he's rich and he's famous and he can go out and he can have anything. But that time he spends with his, you know what I mean, his Spectrum kid. That's what that kid needs. That kid doesn't need a flossy wheelchair. He doesn't need, you know what I mean? I mean, he probably does want a McDonald's burger and that shit like that, but that time with his dad, dude. Bobby was afraid of that. He said he didn't want to, you know what I mean, lose his time with his children. I understood that. That I understood. He's like, but you can still be a good father without being in this home. You can still spend plenty of time with your children without being in her bed. You know what I mean? And you giving all that money to, you know, your first baby mama and all of that, that's what she came after you for, bro. That's what everyone came after in the beginning. And that's what, it's real sad, you know? We sit there on date night and shit, and he tells me that he doesn't have no kids, he doesn't think he can make them. He's been having all this sex and no babies are coming out of it. It's pretty much is the conversation I'm laughing about. And, you know, in any serious relationships, he tells me how he fucked this one up. She comes back later, you know, while we're dating or talking or fucking or whatever we're doing. And she shows up, dude, literally, at his job with a child. It's beautiful. Looks just like him. And it's like, oh, dude, he's got to play daddy. So I backed up. And he tried, but all she wanted was his money. She wanted him to support the child. She didn't want him to be her boyfriend or her husband or anything like that. And I thought she wanted that whole thing. She just wanted his money. So he goes into this battle, but he wants to play dad. He wants more than just giving her money. He wants to know this kid. He wants to be, you know, and she don't want to give him that. So it goes into this custody thing, dude. I remember it before I disappeared. It was going on. It was heavy, bro. It all became about money. She came to get him for custody. She didn't come to bring this child to his life. She came to get him, bro, so she could live, you know what I mean, so she could provide for this child. Within a little bit of time, she started dating someone else. So now she had a boyfriend, and she's custody battling the shit out of him. And, you know, whatever. I guess whatever works out, he ends up spending some time with his child. But it's always been a battle, and during that, that's where he meets his current wife, and she's helping him through that battle. They're fucking, and she gets pregnant. Now he has his own child coming. And what does he do? He marries her. They were just fucking, bro. He was fucking me while he was fucking her, dude. To be honest, I had the messages to show it. He wanted to be a father and a good father. And it came with this woman. And that's what I saw it for what it was. And I explained to him, it's like, you can still be a great father without this woman. But then it's like, this woman can't be a good mother without him being there. That's what he showed me. Later, it made more sense. He doesn't just provide for these children, dude. He's paying for multiple households to stay afloat. He can't just remove himself from that household, because in essence, it's a happy home. They coexist now. The other baby mama comes over with the kids, and they're a happy family. If he doesn't have that home, where are these kids going to come together, and where's this happy family going to exist if he's not fucking her? He loses everything. It's not about giving up a wife. It's about giving up his life, and that's why he couldn't really see this. And I understood it, and that's why I stood back. I get it, bro. You made it understandable. But in the end, I know you're not happy, and that's sad. But I know why you're doing this. I know why fucking NF is unhappy over there. I know why you guys are doing this. I get it. But that's not what God wants. And he doesn't want your kids to suffer just because he wants you happy. That was not what he wants either. It's not one person's happiness for the other. He wants happiness for all people. And then he did the right thing, you know. I can show you in those videos, or I mean in those messages. It's like, he wanted to have a relationship with me, but he knew it was hurtful to me and to his family. Even though it made him happy, and it made me happy, he knew it was wrong. So he had to do the logical thing. He had to do the right thing, and that's what he does. He'll turn off his feelings and do what's right. And it's admirable, but it's not when all I care about is your feelings. So, you know, happy Mother's Day, Father's Day, sexing day. It all needs to be talked about. That moon is gonna hit you, bro. It's a horny moon. I'm serious. I'm like, it was gonna hit me too. I was gonna make a baby under it too. So I thought. And the essence is like, yeah. And you're like, how does this work? I don't know. That's God's job. That's what you gotta understand. You gotta let God be God. He wants something from me that I don't think I want, that I know in my heart is what I truly want, but I can't imagine how this is ever gonna work. But he says that it'll work if I just keep doing it. And that's it too. It's like, how does this work? Him. He does it. Every parent, everybody that, you know what I mean, when you get that, I missed my period, conversation, you don't know. And that's where it comes in, fear or faith. fear or faith. When my son was born, my husband fled. He didn't meet his son. Shit. I don't know, till barely like 5 months after he was born. All he ever wanted was a son, but when he came, he fled. He abandoned him at the hospital and me. He took my daughter, and he left. He left us there. I just had a baby. He was the one that was working. I had no way he just abandoned us and took her. Well, I'll take her and we'll start a new life and forget them. What was he thinking, bro? He was thinking he couldn't handle it. That he couldn't handle the responsibility of another child. In essence, he wasn't really handling any responsibilities of any of it. And he was already on fight or flight mode. It had nothing to do with that. He was already in that mode before it set me into an early delivery. When he got there, he couldn't take care of her. The whole family started it, and they were going to be able to. When he went to court, he's fighting me at court. He just wants my children. Why does he want my children? Because he doesn't want the shame of not being a good father. He can't be accepted in his family and in his communities being a bad father. So he's trying to look like he's a good father. He's trying to pretend like he wants these kids. He never woke up and changed a diaper with them ever, bro. I was talking to my daughter about it the other day. I was like, he was the type of person. We were at the crosswalk. He was telling me how CJ crosses the street. I was like, your dad was very insecure. He was the type of person that will cross in the middle of the street because he couldn't stand for people to watch him as he walked across the street. I said when he had to call like a doctor or something, he wouldn't want to talk to people of authority, so he'd have me or his mom call. He was very timid. He was all of these things, right? He was afraid. And he would just run from things. And so if you didn't have a father in your life or a mother or somebody walked out, they were afraid that they wouldn't be able to do this job. Because this is the biggest job ever. And if you fuck this job up, nobody's going to forgive you. But trust me, when they don't ever really, they can't never get rid of what they walked away from. You know what I mean? When you're running away from something, it's running at you. It's at your tail. And that's why you can't run away from your problems. As much as he wants to run away from his children, every morning he wakes up and is reminded he's a piece of shit father. Throughout the day and right before he goes to bed. His spirit inside knows that it's his own spirit. It's not a demon. It's not a devil. It's a longing for his children. That reminds him he spent another day without them. All day it's reminding him about his children, that you could reach out. You should send them some money. You should you should see how they're doing. He stalks us, but he won't do the next thing. He won't make that next move. And that's where it is. If you ever had to, these runaway fathers, they don't fucking forget. God won't let them. And that's why they stay drunk. Or they stay on drugs, or they stay so far away because they're running from their own failure, that they didn't try. And instead of trying, they just run from the failure every day. The days became the years, and now I have teenagers. He never tried. They'll be adults. And again, he's an adult. Will he ever have another chance to love another woman and have children again? Will God give him a chance to try again? When he gave him every day a chance to try with these ones. If you bear no fruit, then you shall bear no fruit. Nobody asked you to take care of us. We asked you to love us. But he couldn't because he didn't know what that meant. Forgive him. We do. We forgive him. Does he forgive himself? Probably not. Does his parents forgive him? Does the society forgive him for not having what it took? How can he raise a family when he wasn't part of one? And that's where it's like you change things and you start becoming the things that you want to be. You start, you know, I never had a father, but I'm gonna be the best father. I'm not sure what this takes, but I'm gonna try. And you probably suck. And then you'll have another kid and you might be a little bit better. And then like by the last kid, the baby really loves you. They're like, yeah, because by then you've given up all of those crazy fucking behaviors. You're like, you tried everything. Now they just let them run wild and they love it. You let them get away with everything. I have no more fight to give. I have no more fucks to give. I have no more fucks to give at this point. It's true. It's true. A first-time parent to a fourth-time parent, totally drastically different. It's like, oh my God, my child. They'll be fine. Don't worry. No, don't take them to the doctor. They're fine. They're fine. They're fine. They're fine. That's because we've already realized. We already walked through this. We've went through the late nights runs to the doctors. We've done all the crying, all the temperature gazing. We did all that shit. They're fine. They're gonna throw up and they'll be fine. my kid was eating. They'll be fine. Oh, they bumped their head. They'll be fine. God, they'll be fine.
Just don't look like that.
That's kind of where it is. It's like, dude, you want them to have the best, your first child, you want them to have the best, the best everything, right? Right? They have to have the best milk and the best baby food and shit. My kid, this one, the bitch eats fucking potato chips for 3 meals a day, and fuck it. As long as you're not going hungry and you're happy, fuck it. Do your teeth work? Are we good? Fuck it. You don't have to eat meat. Fuck it. Who gives a shit about an egg? You don't need no protein. Fuck it. In the essence, you try. You live by the book in the beginning. You try everything. And then you're like, as long as they're happy, bro. They're fucking happy and healthy and they're going to be okay. Nah, bro, fuck it. As long as you don't end up like these celebrity kids, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You're going to be okay. That's a true mother. Come here, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. Hey, power and authority is in what? God, you don't have any. That's what this whole video showed you. And you're going to make some serious mistakes. And the first one is laying with people you don't want no future with. Quit fucking around, bro. Go get you a sex toy or something. I mean, seriously. I'm serious, bro. Stop it. Stop it now, bro. It's not worth it, bro. You're going to end up stuck with that person for the rest of your life. You're not going to get as lucky as me as the fucking police come in and fucking remove them out of your life for the rest of your life. You're not going to get that lucky, bro. You're going to have to deal with this person. Marshall has to deal with his ex-wife for as long as he, she, or that child is alive. And the grandchild. He'll have to. That's his mother. That's that joke. Why are you still talking to my ex? That's my father. I mean, why are you still talking to that guy? He's part of their life. You're going to be stuck with these people, bro. I'm not. It happened the other day. I was on the phone with the kids, and their dad was there. I was like, dude, stop that. Stop with the... I have a father. Be very careful. Yes, sex equals babies, and then you'll die. Just kidding. Love yous. Laters. Bye.